The morning sun shone warmly over the busy city streets as I walked to work. People rushed past me, but I noticed an elderly woman struggling to keep up. She held her things tightly, her face showing how determined she was. As she moved through the crowd, something slipped from her hands and fell. I quickly stepped off the path and picked it up, a soft leather wallet. The wallet had spilled open, and cards and money were scattered on the ground. I carefully picked them up and went over to the woman. "Excuse me, ma'am," I said, gently touching her shoulder. She turned around, surprised, as I held out the wallet. "Oh, thank you, young man," she said, clearly relieved. "I thought I lost it forever." "It's no problem," I replied with a smile, feeling good about helping her. As she checked her wallet, I felt a wave of warmth and gratitude. It made me realize how even a small kind act can mean a lot to someone. Before we parted, she held my hand and looked at me sincerely. "Thank you," she said softly. "You reminded me there are still good people in the world." I nodded and watched as she walked away, her steps lighter now that her wallet was back. As I continued to work, I felt peaceful. I didn't know it then, but that moment was just the beginning of a journey that would change my life. The air felt cool and full of energy as I reached the tall glass building of Griffin Enterprises, where I had worked for years. But something felt wrong, I didn't know why. Inside, the receptionist smiled at me, but her kindness didn't calm my nerves. I took the elevator up, my heart beating faster with each floor. I arrived at the executive suite, a fancy area with shiny floors and quiet hallways. I walked to the CEO's office and knocked. "Come in," said Mr. Griffin. He sat behind a big desk, looking serious. My coworker and friend, Joseph, sat beside him, not saying a word. "Ethan, please sit," Mr. Griffin said, pointing to a chair. I sat down, nervous. "I'll get straight to the point," he said. "We've decided to let you go from Griffin Enterprises." His words hit me like a slap. I was shocked. "Let me go? Why?" I asked, confused. Joseph still said nothing. Then I understood, he had something to do with this. "Joseph," I said, turning to him, "did you do this?" He gave a cold laugh. "You were always too trusting," he said. "This isn't about talent, it's about power, and I'm not afraid to use it." I felt angry and hurt. "You betrayed me just to get ahead?" I asked, my voice shaking. Joseph looked blank, not showing any emotion. "In this world, you either climb to the top or get crushed," he said. "You've been crushed." I stood up, feeling the weight of defeat, but I didn't realize this was just the start of a long journey full of betrayal, strength, and finding myself again. Later, sitting alone in my apartment, I thought about everything that happened. I remembered the good times and the bad times at Griffin Enterprises. Joseph's betrayal still hurt deeply. "He was always sneaky," I said out loud, "but I never thought he'd go this far." The business world was tough, and I hadn't been ready for it. Still, I had faced challenges before. Maybe I could do it again. As night fell, I sat with my thoughts, trying to push away the sadness and doubt. Slowly, I began to feel determined. I wanted to get back on my feet. Then, a knock at the door interrupted my thoughts. I got up, my heart beating faster. It was Olivia, the cleaner from work. She looked worried. "Ethan, are you okay?" she asked gently. I gave a tired smile. "I'm okay," I said, though I didn't really feel that way. But Olivia didn't believe it. "You don't have to pretend," she said kindly. "I can tell you're going through something, and I want to help." Her honesty touched me. I let her in, and we talked. It felt good to have someone who cared. In the days after I was fired, I felt lost, but Olivia's kindness gave me hope. She had been just the cleaner at work, but now she was the one helping me when I needed it most. One evening, I was walking through the empty halls of Griffin Enterprises, lost in thought. I ran into Olivia doing her job. She smiled warmly, like a bit of sunshine in the dark. "Ethan," she said, her voice full of care. "I didn't expect to see you here so late," I said with a tired smile, thankful for the chance to take my mind off my troubles. "I could say the same for you, Olivia," I replied, my voice showing my gratitude. "What brings you here at this time?" Olivia shrugged with a playful look in her eyes. "I'm just keeping an eye on the office," she joked, though I could tell she was also very tired. As we walked together, we began to feel a bond, a shared understanding from our hard times. Even though we came from very different worlds, our struggles brought us closer, and we drew strength from each other. While we talked, the walls between us began to fall away, and we started to really connect. Olivia told me about her life, sharing stories of long, hard shifts and the strength that helped her get through them. "Working in a place like this isn't easy," she admitted softly. "But I do what I can to help, even if it feels small." Her words hit me hard, a reminder that even in dark moments, hope can be found. When we said goodbye that night, I felt a new sense of purpose and determination to overcome the challenges ahead. With Olivia by my side, our friendship grew in the days that followed, bringing some stability to the chaos. Although the future was uncertain, I knew that with her support, I wouldn't have to face it alone. In a surprising way, I had found comfort and strength, a little light to help me through the darkness. The pain of losing my job still weighed on me as I walked through the winding halls of Griffin Enterprises. The sting of betrayal was always in my mind. Joseph's treachery had broken the trust one once had, leaving me lost and unsure. Determined to find out why I was suddenly fired, I started looking for answers. Each day, my resolve grew stronger, driven by a need for justice. One day, while secretly investigating, I discovered a key piece of evidence, an email between Joseph and Mr. Griffin that clearly showed their secret partnership. The emails revealed a web of lies and manipulation that had been going on for years. Armed with the proof of Joseph's betrayal, I set out to expose the truth and make him face what he had done. Every day, my determination grew, fueled by a strong desire for justice and redemption. The first step was to confront Joseph. I found him wandering in the corridors of Griffin Enterprises, still acting all confident. "Joseph," I called out, my voice full of anger as I approached him, "we need to talk." He turned with a smirk. "Ah, Ethan," he replied, his tone filled with disrespect. "What do you want?" Without wasting time, I held up the evidence. "I know what you did, Joseph," I said, my voice strong with anger. "And I have proof." In that moment, his cool attitude vanished, replaced by uncertainty. "You have no proof," he stuttered, though his shaky voice betrayed him. I pressed on. "Oh, I think I do," I said with scorn. "And I plan to see justice done." Realizing the seriousness of my accusation, Joseph's confidence crumbled. "You can't do this," he begged, his voice desperate. "You'll ruin everything." But I stayed firm. "The truth will come out, Joseph," I declared, my words echoing in the empty hallway. "And you will face the consequences." With that, I turned and walked away, leaving him to deal with what he had done. The fight was far from over, but with the truth on my side, I knew I was close to winning. In the following days, news of Joseph's wrongdoing spread quickly, and his once untouchable reputation began to crumble. As the pressure built on him, I watched, knowing that justice was finally catching up with the man who had tried to destroy me. Even in the chaos, I felt a glimmer of hope, a sense of redemption that washed over me. By exposing the truth, I not only cleared my name but also set the stage for a better future, free from lies and betrayal. After Joseph fell, I found myself at the start of a new chapter, a chance to rebuild my life after so much hardship. With his deceit exposed and justice served, I emerged from the ruins of my old life with renewed purpose and determination. The halls of Griffin Enterprises buzzed with excitement as rumors of Joseph's dismissal spread. For the first time in a long while, hope filled the air, a belief that things were finally changing for the better. That morning, as I entered the office, I was met with whispers and sideways glances. But alongside the doubt, there was also a new respect, a recognition of the role I played in uncovering the truth about Joseph. Then, unexpectedly, Mr. Griffin called me in again. "Please, have a seat," he said, his expression serious but with a touch of warmth. "I owe you an apology," he continued, and I was shocked by his sudden change. "An apology, sir?" I asked, unsure of what was happening. Mr. Griffin nodded. "I let Joseph's ambition blind me," he admitted, his voice filled with regret. "But because of you, the truth is out and justice has been done." I sat in silence, taking in his words. For years, I had worked hard in the shadows, struggling to make my voice heard in a world of office politics. But now, with Mr. Griffin and my colleagues supporting me, I felt ready for a fresh start, a chance to rewrite my story and take back my place in the company. Leaving Mr. Griffin's office that day, I felt a surge of relief, a feeling of freedom I hadn't known in years. By exposing Joseph's lies, I had not only redeemed myself but also opened the door to a brighter future for everyone affected by his actions. In the following days, I stepped into my new role with purpose and determination, eager to leave the past behind and build a better tomorrow. As I looked out at the busy city from my office window, I knew the best was yet to come, a true example of how redemption and renewal can emerge even after great adversity.